Wait a minute. Did I accidentally create a photography brand at the age of 41 that's booming right now? Let's take a look.
One shot, one chance, one dream. Yeah.
Now, a lot of you will know me as Rush the photographer or Rush the filmmaker who works with athletes, but a lot of you don't know that I've been a full-time creative for 20 years now. And I know this is a dead giveaway for my age, but I just recently turned 41 and I've just created my dream brand. This is what I see myself doing for the next 10 years. It's called One Shot. Now, this is a combination of all the skills that I've learned over the last 20 years from photography, videography, DJing, having a clothing brand, networking, living overseas, and of course, my passion for business. So what I'm going to do is each month, I'm going to create a raw one-take video just like this. I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes of my brand One Shot. And I'm going to show you, the highs and the lows, the mistakes that I make, the struggles that I have with the brand, and the numbers. We're going to see if things increase or decrease through One Shot and my personal brand. So right now, we're 1 week out from Christmas 2024, and I'm someone that I like to set my New Year's goals in December. I'm a big believer of let's not wait till next week, let's not wait till tomorrow, let's get busy right fucking now. Life's too short to have regrets, and particularly in the world that we're in now with social media, it is literally the best time to be a creative and be successful. Because, when I started 20 years ago as a DJ, we didn't have any phones, we didn't have social media, so getting access to knowledge was extremely difficult. And this is, one big reason why I've started the brand One Shot is I want to share my knowledge. I want you guys to have access to my database, to my network, and I really want to help you frame your dream. So in these videos, I'm wanting to keep it raw, as you can see. I want to be vulnerable, and there's a few reasons for doing this. Firstly, as a photographer and videographer, I've consistently been trying to make the perfect photo or the perfect video over the years, and it's nice to just be a little more raw, be a little more candid, and this way it becomes more personal. It's like you and I just, we're hanging out here on the couch, having a coffee, having a kombucha, and you're getting to see, the real side of Rush. And the other key reason too is, this is a great way to build trust with the audience. What I'm doing here with One Shot is essentially, I'm selling a coaching service. I'm mentoring a lot of, you creatives, and this is a great way for you to see that I'm the real deal. You can trust me. I've had highs and lows. I've had a lot of success, but I'm the real deal. You can trust me. So that's another big reason for it. And another part too is I like putting myself in uncomfortable situations. This is a way that you push yourself and you gain new skills. As an example, I'm someone that people think that I'm an extrovert, and I actually really struggle speaking on camera. It's been very difficult for me to, get in front of the camera, particularly, coming from a photographer and videographer background. I'm so used to being behind the camera, giving the directions, telling other people how to do it. But I love, putting myself in these scenarios where I've really got to push myself. And by doing that, I hope I can inspire you to do the same thing, in 2025. All right, so who am I? If you've just stumbled across this video and you're trying to figure out who the hell is this bloody Australian bloke, because right now, my YouTube channel, my audience is, I think it's 45% American viewers. So my name is James Rush. Everyone tends to call me Rush. I'm from a small place in Australia called Canberra, and right now I'm living in Melbourne. So Melbourne's famous for the coffee, Australian Open, and absolutely terrible weather. But I've over the last 10 years, I had a video production company called Rush Entertainment Group, where we specialized in working with athletes that had visually hip-hop inspired visuals. I should know how to say that better. I've said it a lot over the years. But I've been blessed to, work with people like Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, the NBA, Nike, Christian Dior, and I did commercials for the Paris Olympics. So I've had an incredible journey. And prior to that, I was a hip hop DJ living in Los Angeles, where, funnily enough, I was working with a lot of gangster rappers. It's funny because when people look at me, they just see this blonde, blue-eyed, Aussie surfer-looking dude. But don't let that fool you. I was deep in the LA streets. So I was working with the likes of Tiger, The Game, and Kendrick Lamar's crew. And around this time as well, I had a clothing brand called Spader, and I had the likes of Jay-Z wear that. So you can see there's a common theme going on here. I've consistently been working with athletes and consistently been working in the hip-hop industry. So this is how One Shot has also, been molded together. It's for photographers and videographers inspired by sports and street culture. We want that grit. I love sport, but I always want to give it that hip-hop flavor. So this is what One Shot is essentially created from. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to keep this raw. Just checking my notes here to make sure I go through all the things I want to cover today. It's funny, right? The way this brand One Shot was formed was essentially an accident. This wasn't the plan whatsoever. So being here in Melbourne during COVID, we suffered some of the worst lockdowns in the world, and I had a lot of my close friends leave during this time. So about 8 months ago, I was like, you know what? I need to make some new friends. Why don't I put on a photography meetup? The initial plan was we'll head to the local cafe. I thought maybe 7 or 8 people would turn up and we'll just geek out over photography for 2 hours. But once I started putting it out on social media, it started, getting a lot of interest. And I thought, okay, there's a few people coming now. I'm going to invest a bit of my own money into this. Let's get some professional models. I got a barista. I love coffee. I organized a chocolate bar sponsor, and thankfully I was given a really beautiful studio to put on the event. And I had 35 people come. Completely blew my expectations. And when I came home after the meetup, I was just absolutely buzzing because I was able to give back to the community. I was able to share my knowledge and help other creatives, with opportunities to shoot models and, give them a lot of advice that I've gained over the last 20 years. So I really wasn't expecting to feel like this after the meetup. And, one thing I've been really good at doing is documenting my process, through the last 20 years. So, of course, after the meetup, I put up a recap video, a bunch of photos, and the response was just, incredible. I was getting a lot of DMs, Rush, when's the next meetup? And I was like, oh shit, you guys, you want another meetup? Like, I was just expecting to do one, and that was it. So I was like, okay, there's some interest here. Let's do a second meetup. So 4 weeks later, the second meetup happened, and I went from 35 photographers to 413 photographers signing up, which completely blew my mind. I wasn't expecting this whatsoever. I didn't even realize that there was this many photographers in Melbourne. And then a month later, I went to Brisbane. I had a job up there, And I was like, okay, let's do a meetup in Brisbane. I don't know anyone here, but look, maybe I can get 15, 20 people together. Same thing again. I had 400 photographers sign up for this, but the venue only held 80 people. So, I was madly sending out emails, hey, please don't come anymore. This is going to quickly go from the photography meetup to, the photography block party. But this is, when everything started to change, because my social media, was going crazy. For me, it was going crazy. I gained 2,500 to 3,000 followers in this time. But the biggest thing that happened was the DMs that I was getting from photographers that were coming to the meetups. I was getting these really emotional messages. One in particular that, really stands out for me, and that was someone saying, Rush, before I came to the meetup, I didn't really have many friends, but after today, I've made friends. I've got friends now. Thank you so much. So I was getting a lot of messages similar to this, people telling me how their confidence had grown. They were able to network and be around like-minded creatives. So it really hit me that this was becoming bigger than photography. But the problem, there's always the good and the bad. The problem that I had was after 3 of these events, I'd outlaid $12,000 of my own money putting on these meetups. So I needed to find the sweet spot. I needed to find that balance of creating a business so I could generate income, so I could continue to help, creatives like yourself. So this is when One Shot was born. And, it's been, a really exciting time creating One Shot. And essentially, what I've put together is a brand that I needed, when I first started as a creative. That's, guidance, understanding, the business side, storytelling, opportunities in the industry, but most importantly, bringing a community of like-minded creatives together. So what we're doing right now with One Shot, we've got workshops happening all over Australia. We've got meetups happening, and I just launched the memberships, which I'm super, super excited about. This is an exclusive community for photographers and videographers into sports and street culture. So you've got to sign up to get in. There's a free option, and that gets you, where you can network with the community. You can join in on challenges. We've got a lot of giveaways. And the element I'm really excited about is the VIP subscription membership. So this is $83 a month. And what that gets you is you get a monthly webinar with myself. So for 2 hours, you can pick my brain on 20 years of knowledge that I've had in the industry. You can ask me about anything that you like. And along with that, you also get access to a VIP community, industry opportunities. I've got a ridiculous network, here in Australia and internationally. So like I said, there's no gatekeeping. I'm going to do my best to help you guys, frame your dream, and I'm going to create as many opportunities as I can. And we've also got weekly goal setting and, a bunch of other things in there. And thirdly, there's a membership called the Rockstar membership. And this is $4,000 for the year. So this is more so for one-on-one coaching with myself. And this is more so aimed at creators that, are probably full-time, but they're wanting to get higher paying jobs and, get into that 6-figure range. So check out the One Shot website for more information about that. There's a link in the description below. But what has been really, really cool to see is we're getting members literally signing up from all over the world. We've had people from Brazil, the US, France, Ireland, the Philippines, and of course, all over Australia. It's really, really cool bringing this sports and street culture community together. I had absolutely no idea that there was this many sports creators out there. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, talking to you guys in the community, talking through Instagram on the DMs and getting to know a lot of you better. So, of course, this is in the very early stages, but the thing I'm really excited about is from my 20 years of being in the industry, this has given me the biggest buzz. One shot is what I feel like is what I've, been put on the earth to do. This is what I really see myself doing for at least the next 10 years. Okay, so one thing I'm also going to do in these videos is give you guys the stats. We all love numbers. We all love seeing, things progress or decline. So as I mentioned, the One Shot membership launched 10 days ago. So I thought we could start, with the stats from the last 10 days. So right now, the One Shot community is, I'll put these numbers up on the screen. The One Shot community is at 137 members. Instagram-wise, we're at 1,442 followers. And currently, we've got 6 VIP members paying $83 a month. And right now, in terms of Rockstar members, we've got 0 members. And on the newsletter, the One Shot newsletter, we've got 268 subscribers on that. So to give you a little bit of an insight, the average member at One Shot is a photographer or videographer into sports and street culture. And a lot of you guys are part-time creatives looking to go full-time, or you have a full-time job and you're wanting to create the ultimate side hustle. So there's a lot of people that are working full-time in marketing, or they have a small business and they're wanting to either fine-tune their skills, or they're wanting to create that ultimate side hustle. Now, for my personal brand, for Rush, YouTube subscribers right now, I'll put this on the screen. I've got 2,948 subscribers, and Instagram-wise, I've got 6,625 followers. So it'll be interesting to see, how that increases or decreases between now and the next video. And what I want to do is finish off with a quote for each episode. And the quote of the month is, you've been looking at it the whole time. It's right here. Stop thinking, just jump. And I thought that this is perfect timing with the fact that we're about to go into the new year. So this is a reminder for you to stop thinking and just fucking go for it. Life's short, like I said. It's time to frame your dream, make it happen. I'm going to catch you in the next episode. Press like and subscribe.